Here I am again, ladies and gentlemen, here to get on top of the PNP supporters' nerves with some truth about the Jamaica Labour Party versus the People's National Party. They don't like when I speak truth, the People's National Party supporters, because they are hell-bent on the destruction of this country. You hear them saying time come? Because they have been seeing the country prospering for the past 9 years since Andrew Holness got in office. And ladies and gentlemen, it's like they don't want the poor to come out of poverty. They want the poor to remain poor. So they want to vote back the party in power that keeps poor people poor, that's transfer wealth from the poor to the rich, like what we saw happening in the 1990s with FinSAC and all of these people. They don't like, ladies and gentlemen, when they are exposed. They want us to just forget about it and move on. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the same set of people that brought high taxes to the Jamaican people. They brought high taxes to the Jamaican people, ladies and gentlemen, and low wages, years of wage freeze. I see them putting up a poster with the JTA president campaigning for the People's National Party. While I can't stop people from supporting who they want to support, but of all the people to support the People's National Party, the JTA president is going to be supporting them when they undergo years of wage freeze under the People's National Party. They endure years of wage freeze, while under the Jamaica Labour Party, ladies and gentlemen, they have gotten their salary increase, even though at present they are currently negotiating salaries under the Jamaica Labour Party government. And even though what has been offered, ladies and gentlemen, they don't like it, because what they want, ladies and gentlemen, is what the country cannot afford at this time. And why the country cannot afford it at this time? If they give them what they are asking for, let's say they give them a 50% wage increase, it would damage the economy, ladies and gentlemen, because Jamaica is not yet at the place where it can offer them a 50% increase. And these are the things, ladies and gentlemen, that they don't understand, that they just have to work with what they are getting now until better comes. So you don't campaign, and look who they are campaigning for, the very party that says they're going to extend their work hours. They're going to give them 2 more work hours on top of what they already get. The stressful hours that they are already working, they want to get more hours on it, and they are campaigning for the said people that want to oppress them. Can you imagine? Sometimes I wonder if Jamaica people think before they do things. Ladies and gentlemen, under the People's National Party, I ate egg and rice every single day. When it's not egg and rice, it's tin mackerel and rice, ladies and gentlemen. I ate tin mackerel so much that when it's not tin mackerel and rice, it's tin mackerel and dumpling. That was what I had under the People's National Party's regime, because things were very expensive and the salaries were very low. Now under the Jamaica Labour Party, let me tell you what is happening for me. I have a business, ladies and gentlemen, that's doing very well. And I am also a working person, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a working person, plus I have my business. And I could have bought a car, ladies and gentlemen, but I took the money that I was to use to buy the car. I took it and I opened a business instead, because through the business, I can buy many cars. So, ladies and gentlemen, I couldn't do this under the People's National Party's administration because of the low minimum wage that they kept us under, and they don't increase the minimum wage to match inflation, to match what's going on in the economy. They kept us there, ladies and gentlemen. And not to mention security officers, they used to do something called income tax, the pay as you earn tax. That used to take away a lot of money from us, ladies and gentlemen. The income tax. that they tax our salary called pay as you earn tax. That used to eat up our salary a lot. Now under the Jamaica Labour Party, ladies and gentlemen, because they have increased the tax threshold, we can carry on more money. Therefore, we are able to open up businesses. We're able to eat good food. You know, when you're eating good food, you're going to do what? You're going to produce more. You're going to produce more in terms of labor because you will have strength to do your work and you will be more relaxed. Your mind will be more at ease because you don't have to worry about where the next dollar is coming from to buy your baby feeding, or even to pay Jamaica people stress, also known as JPS. Ladies and gentlemen, they are the other one. Because of what the People's National Party have done, they have allowed the JPS a monopoly license to stifle the growth of this country. Because, ladies and gentlemen, when you see some light bill that some of us are getting, you're wondering if we're running a factory. Ladies and gentlemen, how comes a person who is not at home, who is hardly at home, getting over $35,000 per month for light bill, and they are hardly at home? What's at home burning the light? Nothing, because light cannot burn at my house. When I'm at work and you hear JPS sending me light bill every month for all those 30,000 and I'm not running a factory. So what am I saying, ladies and gentlemen? I'm saying that under the People's National Party administration, people suffered. And there are many things. I see Jamaica Labour Party planning to put an urban center in another parish. Can you imagine? They are putting one now in Portland. They have opened one in St. Thomas. And they are planning to put one in another parish. I forget which parish it was. Ladies and gentlemen, they're opening up a resilient park in Portmore. It's under construction now. Ladies and gentlemen, to be honest with you, I do believe it's foolhardy not to vote for the Jamaica Labour Party, because they are not the party who just make promises. They are the party that made promises and keep promises. Promises made, promises kept. And there are a lot of promises, yes, that are yet to be fulfilled. But as you know, that Rome was not built in a day. Furthermore, ladies and gentlemen, it's very dangerous to put the People's National Party back in power, because they are going to cut back on what the Andrew-led administration is doing. They are not going to continue with it. They are going to discontinue with it, because they have said it with their own mouth that they're going to do it. So, ladies and gentlemen, if the policies of the Jamaica Labour Party is causing the economy to grow, I do believe that it is best that we stick with the Jamaica Labour Party, because if we vote them out and put the People's National Party back in power, we're going to experience no growth, because we're going to experience high taxes, we're going to experience no growth. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go back to the days when we will have to go back to the IMF. We don't want that for our country, ladies and gentlemen. We want our country to develop. And I do believe that with Mr. Andrew Holness' policy, Jamaica is, right now it's set to become a first world country. And if we give Andrew Holness enough time, I do believe this man will take Jamaica into the first world status by the time he is to the minute office. So, ladies and gentlemen, if the Prime Minister is doing a good job, and we know he's doing a good job, let's keep him there. Let's not vote against him. Don't listen to the hypocrisy of the People's National Party supporters. They don't know what they want, ladies and gentlemen. Because if they had wanted good for the country, they would never be voting against a man who is building up the country based on rumors. And ladies and gentlemen, I hear them talking about corruption, this and corruption that. How can a man be corrupt, ladies and gentlemen, when the corruption ranking for Jamaica has improved? Jamaica is less corrupt than how it was under the People's National Party. Even the crime is going down. We can't vote against Mr. Holy